What is the connection between UFOs and time travel? Let's talk about that. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, on the recent episode of Jesse Mitchell's, great channel, I love it, he had on Mike Masters, who's an experiencer and a very thoughtful fellow. I highly recommend checking out the full interview. But one thing he said was he believes that UFOs are time machines. He didn't go into any real details about that, unfortunately. However, it dovetails very closely with many experiencer accounts where they are taken somewhere else that seems to be outside of our reality, outside of space and time. Some even report traveling through time with these beings aboard these UFOs. And it makes sense, I guess, because obviously these ships can go super fast, right? Blink and you miss them without creating a sonic boom. So they are not disturbing the air. They are warping space and time just by their very nature. So can they go outside of space and time as we know it? Well, that is what many experiencers recount. But, obviously hard to confirm. However, I do tend to believe that, but your mileage may vary on that. But he is not the only one talking about this sort of thing. Ross Coulthart also talks about the idea of UFOs in time and how ETs may even be us from the future.
I wish I could tell you what I'm being told right now, but I don't think it's responsible for me to talk about it until I've been able to verify it more, because I don't want to panic people or be irresponsible. I'm already copping a swipe from different people. Actually, Eric Davis had a go at me the other day because I apparently talked about people who told me that the United States may be actively engaged in attempting to bring down objects by using the frequencies that they know these objects can be tracked at. And he said I was clueless on that point. And I don't want to get into a ding-dong with Eric Davis because I actually like the guy and respect him enormously. But all I was doing was reporting what I've been told. And I've been told in another area certain things about the phenomenon that are quite disturbing. I mean, there are a lot of people privately claiming to me things about the implications of the phenomenon that go beyond, far beyond the whole notion of just, I mean, I wish it was as simple as extraterrestrials getting in their little spaceships and flying from Zeta Reticuli and coming to this planet. That's the easy explanation. The explanation that I've been exploring in recent months is more complex, and I've already spoken about this to some extent, so I will say it involves the notion of future human time travel. And look, it's only hypothetical. I'm not saying it's real.
Well, I wish you would say more about what you meant, and I think that we're going to get more of that from Ross in the future. It sounds like that's a current avenue of research for Ross, and we'll probably be hearing more about that. But he is not the only person that is saying this. I've heard that again and again, that the idea that ETs could be us from the future. And indeed, on a few occasions, they've even claimed to be that. However, they've also claimed to be different things, all with the same narrative. As I've talked about before, the narrative, the general thrust of the narrative is always that they're a weak and dying race and that they need us for some reason. Obviously, to put us at ease and allay our fears and assure us that they need us and that they're not here to destroy us. But that is the general thrust of probably every origin story I've ever heard about the beings. They are us from the future. They are a different race from the future or from an alternate timeline. They've merged with AI or genetically modified themselves into extinction, et cetera, et cetera. And they always need us to restore their humanity or their ability to procreate or whatever. And that's always the general thrust of it. but they're all always the same. They always have that same thrust. So I don't necessarily trust that narrative. But I do. I'm fascinated by Ross's research, and I can't wait to see what he comes up with. I hope he shares that with us. And who knows? There could be something there, guys. There could be something there. But he is not the only one saying this. Tom DeLonge is also saying, talking about the connection between the beings and time. What some bloke from Reddit was told by Tom DeLonge. And, take this, with a grain of salt because we don't have this confirmed by Tom. However, it closely resembles what Tom has said publicly. He said, aliens don't come from other planets, said it was a hole in time. Time is not really a thing. And these aliens, I'm calling it that because that seems to be what everyone here calls it. ET, spirits, whatever you prefer, understand the mechanism of time. The bad news is that these things are incredibly old, in the millions of years. And apparently to them we are like an experiment. They have manipulated us and are responsible for the religions, posing as the God of the Israelites or speaking to Muhammad, to sow division, divide humanity, and put us at war with each other, to keep us away from being united by whatever means necessary. Apparently, us being unaware this is a big experiment for them is important. So I'm not going to get into all of that. I don't necessarily believe any of that. But, who knows? Who knows? There definitely could have been a manipulative element in how ETs deal with us. And maybe they have manipulated our cultures and religions. Who knows? But the important point is that Tom is talking about ETs and the connection to time. Time is not really a thing. If indeed this is Tom saying this, and again, it does closely resemble what Tom has talked about publicly, but he seems to think that there's some dark stuff going on, and he doesn't want to say too much publicly about the details of that. So this could be why. But Lou Elizondo has also talked about the connection with ETs in time. He has talked about, well, I think he's talked about it on a couple of occasions, but one really interesting occasion is when he said, what if, hypothetically, these beings exist in time differently than we do? If imagine time is a cigarette, a burning cigarette, a lit cigarette, and we are, our moment of time that we exist in is the cherry, is the burning part of the cigarette. He says, well, what if the beings experience time differently and their cherry is larger, so they can exist across larger moments of time than we do? It's hard to wrap your head around that concept, but it's a fascinating concept that again illustrates the idea of the connection between ETs in time and how they interact with time potentially differently than we do. So what do you think about ETs and UFOs in time? Are they coming from the future, the past, a different timeline, outside of space and time entirely? Do they simply navigate time differently? As Lou said, hypothetically, they might. Is their cherry bigger than our cherry? Yeah. So let me know what you think about ETs in time. I would love more hard evidence on all of this. There is somebody that said recently, I forget who, was it Ross, was it David Grush, that said the connection to time is one of the most closely guarded secrets of the control group. Anyway, let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, please consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt. See the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.